Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Google Cloud Digital Conference. To the cloud, your way. My name is Dambo Ren. I'm the customer engineer of Google Cloud based in Singapore. It's really my pleasure to share with you the topic of hybrid application modernization with Anthos platform. So in my session, I would like to share with you how enterprise customer can leverage Anthos platform to modernize your application, whether the workload is on-prem, in cloud, in Google Cloud, or other cloud. I also would like to share with you a real-time demo how Anthos platform looks like, how you can gain single visibility about your cluster management, application, workload, services. Before I started, just a friendly reminder, we have Googler standby online. Should you have any questions, feel free to click on the button on your left, the question icon, and fire up your questions. To start with, I would like to share with you this cloud insight survey from IDG to give you some context, what kind of challenge enterprise is facing and what is Anthos platform value propositions. I believe everyone agree with me, enterprise IT is complex and expensive to operate it. If you look at this survey report, the first number, easily you can tell, more than 70 of the enterprise, they are already in cloud. And I believe second number, the 84% of the customer, it's already have hybrid cloud, and also they have planning for multi-cloud. Actually, this number probably surprised for some of the people. And the reason for that is very simple. Because majority of the workload still on customers' their own data center, only 10% in cloud. And multi-cloud, some of the customers, they need to achieve high availability, high reliability. They probably think about multi-cluster in multi-cloud. Also probably think about the cost saving to look at different options in the market. However, manage hybrid environment and multi-cloud environment is not a trivial thing. You probably need two kind of separate team and using different technology to manage it, to operate it. So eventually, if you look at last number, so it's not surprise. So 83% increase in terms of the operation cost and administration cost. So let's see how Anthos could help enterprise customer to address this kind of challenge, to help you manage hybrid cloud and multi-cloud, and try to help you to modernize your application no matter your workload on-prem or in cloud. Anthos is a single platform to help enterprise customers to modernize their application. It's based on open source technology. It's 100% software based. We don't enforce you to refresh your hardware, so you can protect your hardware investments. And we provide a single panel of glass for you to manage all your services. You can manage your cluster, multiple cluster in multiple environment, manage your services, workload, application, and configurations. And everything happens in a unified single UI. We also provide you consistent operating models. You are using same open source technology to operate in your multi-cluster, multiple application in multiple environments. Last but not least, we have Anthos Marketplace to allow enterprise to leverage third-party ISV solution OSS stack in a single panels. We also provide a single interface for your support, for your billings, for invoice management. So according to Forbes, Google Cloud Anthos platform is really unique offering in the market in terms of managed hybrid and multi-cloud applications. So you may be wondering why Google is first provide this kind of innovative solution and in terms of manage hybrid and multi-cloud. So that's probably one thing I can share with you is because of Google's innovation and thought leadership around application orchestrations. If you look at Google's internal system, we also facing same or similar challenges and as most enterprise facing. So all the way back to 2003, Google have our own product code called Blog. So it's a prototype of Kubernetes. So our team using it for automate our cluster management and orchestrate for our applications. We also try to innovative around resources or process isolation. So we call control group, also called C group. So that could be the prototype for container-based applications. And when we donate this C group to Linux kernels. And that technology built out the foundation for Docker. And until 2014, we released our first open source version Kubernetes. Until August 15, we make it GA. We partnership with IBM, Red Hat. We also open source Istio, which is for service mesh, orchestration for microservice, and Knative, which is another open source offering based on Kubernetes technology, provide a serverless capability for the applications hosted on Kubernetes. And all the way back to April this year in San Francisco, we announced Anthos, its operating system for hybrid cloud and multi-cloud. It's all based on open source technology. It's based on Google's internal innovation. We make it open source. We make it available for community. We also provide a managed service for enterprise customers. Our Anthos platform is all built on open source technology. And it started originally from Google. And Google provides the first class of managed service for our enterprise customers. So this is, I call, three heroes behind the scene. So Kubernetes, Istio, and Knative. So let's start from Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is abstraction layer for infrastructures. It provides platform operator a kind of declarative approach to manage your infrastructures. So you can automate the cluster provisioning as a pipeline automations. So you can easily automate your cluster and resources provisions. If you look at top one, Knative, it's a serverless offering based on Kubernetes technology, which can make a developer can focus on application coding only. And rest others, Google will take care about operation and scalabilities. So Knative, this kind of serverless offering can make developer focus on build, test, deploy application, no matter this workload will be running on-prem, in cloud. It's transparent for developers. And the second layer for Istio. Istio is for service mesh. Think about it in your organization. You probably have some of the services cannot using container technology. Like VM-based, you need more sophisticated network controls. You're probably the service base. In this case, you need Istio to help you orchestrate this kind of VM-based and microservice-based orchestrations. And Istio help you to secure your traffic and get visibility about your traffic among your services, and also give you capability, a kind of channel allow your microservices orchestrate together. We'll talk about more in the later slide. This will be high level the components or modules in Anthos hybrid platforms. If you look at the bottom part, we have two environments in the Google Cloud Platform. We have GKE, which is managed version Kubernetes on Google Cloud Platform to orchestrate your container on Google Cloud Platform. And for the application cannot covered by Kubernetes container, you can use EC2 or manager version EC2 we call Cloud Service Mesh, CSM, to manage your VM-based and microservice-based applications on your data center on-prem environments. So we have GKE on-prem based on the same technology Kubernetes, and we bring the managed service Kubernetes into your environments. And same, you can continue using EC2 and CSM to orchestrate your microservice on your environments. And on top of that, we provide a kind of control plane to provide a single pane of glass for the enterprise to manage all your services on the platform. So you can manage your cluster, manage your workload, services, application, and policies. So same as other Google product, we put security in the first priority. We design, build, operate Anthos platform with security in the first priorities. And this slide gives you a further breakdown in terms of Anthos hybrid technical stack. So in the cluster in Google Cloud Platform and GKE on-prem, so we also have configuration management. So which a kind of gate-based repository, centralized manage all your configuration policies. Whenever you have any changes, this configuration file will be automatically synced to multiple cluster and multiple environments. And GKE Hub Connect allow you to register cluster in different platforms and build up a secure tunnel. They can communicate each other and interact each other. And don't forget, Anthos platform also based on the Google Cloud Platform. So all the Google Cloud services, Anthos platform can take advantage. So can give you example like multi-cluster ingress, which allow you to expose your container-based, microservice-based services to the external system. We can provide you layer 7, layer 4 load balancer, and you can set up your customer domain, manage your certificate. And second module I can share with you like Stackdriver. It's amazing telemetry tools for the enterprise to get single visibility about your application, your container, your services runnings. So Stackdriver can help you manage your logging, monitoring, tracing, auditing, even debugging your application, while not stop your services. So from now on, I would like to walk you through each of the Anthos platform component one by one to show you the capability and value could be bring to the enterprise customers. So GKE on-prem. GKE on-prem is basically bring the same open source technology, cloud automation to your environments. So you can build your application one time, you deploy application anywhere, whether it's on-prem or in cloud. We provide a kind of declarative approach for enterprise customer in your environment to manage your cluster provision, resources provisions. And you can easily automate this kind of pipeline automations. And also we provide you automatic mechanism to update your package on your environments rather than you do it manually one by one. So from single cloud console through the controller, you can update your GKE on-prem anywhere. The second component I would like to talk about is GKE Hub and Connect, which provide a centralized management tools for the hybrid infrastructure and applications. It builds up a secure tunnel between your environment to Google Cloud. So allow the two environments can interact each other. Should you create a cluster GKE on-prem through the instructions, then your cluster will be automatically registered under Google Cloud Console. However, we also give you the capability, register your cluster through the user graphic UI or the command lines. That's GKE Hub and Connect build up secure tunnel, allow the communication can interact between two environments. But should you have multiple clusters in multiple environments, then how you can manage the configurations, how you can manage security controls. So that's the Anthos configuration management come to rescues, which provide a centralized mechanism, allow you to manage all your policy security control in a Git-based repository. So you can manage all your configuration in a single place using YAML file, then that one will be automatically sync to multiple cluster, to multiple environments. That provide a kind of policy as a code or configuration as a code. So allow enterprise customer can automate this kind of configuration and policy deployments. And last but not least is a cloud service mesh, which is the managed version for Istio. So currently it's alpha stage. Should you feel interested about this feature, you can talk to our account team in your region. So managed version Istio a cloud service mesh provides you a centralized way to manage all your microservices. And you can secure your microservices using policy-based rather than machine or cluster-based. And besides CSM, we also have another offering called Istio add-on for GKE. So allow you, whenever you provision your cluster, you can enable Istio add-on for your clusters. So we will be automatically to install the predefined package into your cluster, then you can enjoy the microservice-based orchestrations. With that, I would like to give you a quick demo about Anthos platform to show you, how the Anthos platform looks like, and through the single panel of the glass, how you can manage your multiple clusters, how you even can deploy your workload, no matter it's on-prem or in cloud. For the people, first time log into Google Cloud Console, you can see this is a single place you can manage all your API, your resources, and cloud services. So through the navigation menu, let's go to the GKE engine. And here you can see the single UI. I can manage all the clusters from multiple environments. So I have two clusters called Central and GKE cluster, which is native cluster in Google Cloud Platform based on the GKE managed version Kubernetes. And we have another cluster called Remote, which is on-prem cluster using the GCE simulators. And I also have another cluster, EKS cluster, for the people familiar with AWS. Actually, this is AWS version cluster management. I also can register the cluster EKS from AWS, and I can manage all clusters in one single UI. Should I click, I can drill in for the resources located in the multiple environment. In this case, I can see the persistence volume and also the node attached to each of the clusters. Let's also take a look at the GKE on-prem versions. On GKE on-prem version, I have one master node and 4 user node. Should I click on the master node? That will show me the details about all the services running on this master. For the service like API service, etcd, or controller for Kubernetes, and also the resources summarized here. So how to register cluster into the Google Cloud Console? So there's a button you can register your cluster from multiple environments. You can register your cluster through the command line or the graphic user interface. So when the time you register your cluster, you need a service account to connect it to your clusters. And you need to assign the cluster admin role for this service account. Then after that, we have the capability to connect it to your cluster, install an agent, then build up secure tunnel, then the two environments can interact with each other. And again, in a single pane of the glass, Anthos allow you to manage all your workload running in multiple cluster, multiple environment, and also manage your services. So this is a Istio microservice based. As you can see here, we also allow you to expose your load balancer to the external system. And also you can deploy your applications. In this case, I don't have any application in my system. No worry, just take opportunity to show you how easily and quickly you can deploy an application from Marketplace. So as I said, there's a new category called Kubernetes apps. We provide third-party ASV and OSS stack. So the enterprise customer can deploy the third-party application through the Marketplace. So some of them like Redis, MongoDB, Elasticsearch, and all these kind of services you can just one click and deploy to your cluster, no matter it's on-prem or in cloud. So in my case, let's try Nginx load balancer. As you can see, this is based on the repository on Google container registry, and this is all the container image here. So I'm ready to config and deploy this Nginx load balancer to my environment. So first, I can select the clusters where I want to deploy my application. As I said, I can deploy on Google Cloud Platform, other cloud platform like EKS, or your environment, your data center. In this case, I want to deploy to a GK on-prem. So I can choose a namespace. So I want to create 3 replicas for high availability. Then I want to enable the Stackdriver agent. So that's probably take up to 1 minute to finish all the deployment. I don't think I will let you guys wait. Let me continue show you the rest other features. We also can show you, in single place, you can manage all your configuration policy. I think I will talk about later in my slide. So with that, I hope you got a high-level understanding about how the Anthos platform looks like and how you register your multiple cluster and deploy application, no matter your application going to running on-prem or in cloud. Then I would like to talk about, from persona perspective, to talk about Anthos capability and features and what the benefit and value probably for this kind of persona. So we talk about 3 kind of roles. So platform operator, security admin, and application developers. So they are totally different type of the team. And they, of course, they have different priorities. So for application developer, they like changes. They like bring new feature capability to the applications. They prefer a kind of consistent development user experiences. And they want to be transparent for the place they want to deploy. However, if you look at security admin, for them, it's all about the governance control. So it's kind of trade-off between agility and governance. So security admin prefer a centralized manage all the policy and securities at the scale. And third role, platform operator. They expected a kind of a consistent operating model and using same technology stack, ideally open source, to manage multiple cluster, multiple environments. And the application can be port and mobile between different environments. Let's talk about it one by one. So first, let's start from Anthos for platform operators. As I said earlier, for the operator, they care about the consistency of operating model. They expected the workload application can have mobility or portabilities between different environments. And Anthos gave them a kind of one single platform so they can deploy their workload application anywhere. And they can get single visibility across multiple cluster, multiple environments. And this is a screenshot I just showed you earlier. So the single view for the operator, which allow operator can orchestrate and manage the container just like GKE in cloud. And the consistent operating models across multiple environments. And single pane of glass for multiple cluster management, no matter where they are. This is show you for the operator level, the architect of GKE on-prem. So it's based on the vSphere virtualization technology. We support version 6.5. We integrate with F5 Big IP load balancer. On your environment, on-prem, GKE on-prem, you have admin cluster and multiple user clusters. And each of the clusters, they have control plane to help you to control, to communicate. And you may worry about, say, how I can install GKE on-prem into my environment. So actually, we give you a kind of very friendly instruction how to set up in your environments. So this is interactive command line based. You just choose different option, and we automatically initialize the environment for you. Then after that, how you can provision the admin cluster and user cluster, and we have the command for you. So beside, for the people familiar with the Kubernetes, kubectl, which is orchestrate, command line orchestrate your container. And for GKE on-prem, we have GKE ctl. So you can use the command like GKE ctl prepare and set up to set up your environment. In this case, admin clusters. Then after that, you can continue using GKE ctl to create cluster, create user clusters. And each user cluster have user control plane. Then you can deploy your application to your cluster node. And of course, you can create multiple cluster, and all this kind of cluster will be managed by Google Cloud Consoles. And you may worry about, say, hey, how the connectivity between my environment to Google Cloud? Do I need a open a pod or have public IP to talk to the internet? So actually, you don't need to worry about it. So we automatically build up secure tunnel between cloud and your environments. And the communication is encrypted and authenticated. And you don't need to publish any IP to the external systems. And it's secure tunnels. And the traffic traverses net gateway and also the firewalls. So this also allows you to install the add-on into your environments. The add-on could be the Stackdriver add-on, like logging, monitoring, so you can gain the telemetry and metrics observabilities for your systems. Let's talk about Anthos for security admin. Security admin is all about manage policy security controls at scale. So they expected a centralized way to manage all your security controls. So we provide a way using Git-based repositories to manage all your Kubernetes and ES2 resources controls. And based on YAML file, provide you hierarchy control about all the way from your admin level, cluster level, node level to application levels. So you can set up the organization level security control and pod level resources controls. Let's allow you easily can build up your CD and continuous deployment automation pipelines. So we implemented something like configuration as a code or policy as a code. With that, the admin can easily implement a kind of CI/CD pipeline automations. So you probably have different branch for different configuration files, and you can validate it. You can review by your central team. And once you feel comfortable about your configuration, you can merge it and deploy it to your different environments. This is an example, a screenshot to show you how you can manage policy-driven securities. I give you an example like ES2. You want to enhance mutual TLS for all the communications within your microservices. I don't need you do it one by one for each of your cluster microservices. It's already tedious. So we just changing the policy to enforce all the microservices using mutual TLS. And that configuration will be automatically sync to all the configuration managers in multiple cluster and multiple environments. Last, let's talk about developers. Developer expected a kind of consistent experiences to modernize the application on-prem, in cloud. And Google Cloud provides a tool called Cloud Run, based on the serverless offering called Knative, so which provide a kind of serverless user experiences for the developers. So when developer develop their applications, they don't care about the application going to be deployed on-prem or in cloud. There is multiple ways to deploy your application onto the Cloud Run. One approach is you run your Cloud Run independently. You expose your services to the external internet. Then you can manage your layer 7 load balancer and certificate management. Another approach is deploy Cloud Run on GKE. Should you need a kind of network control or security control, then that's a good way to deploy Cloud Run to GKE clusters. So you have fully control about VPC service control and network controls. And last but not least, Cloud Run also can run on Anthos platform. And this is the feature we are under development. And should you feel interested, feel free to reach out to our account team. And last one, I quick summarize for the developer. With Cloud Run serverless offering, the developer could be only focused on coding application, and it's a consistent experiences. Then they can deploy to multiple environments, whether it's on-prem or in cloud. Quick summarize about Anthos platform. First, we help you to modernize the application, in place, whether it's on-prem or in cloud. We help you to automate your policy control, security control at scale. You can provide a consistent user experiences for your developers, for your DevOps team. And the last slide, I would like to share with you how you can get started with Anthos. So first, you have to make sure you have the technical requirement. Now we support VMware vSphere 6.5, and we integrate with F5 big IP load balancers. Of course, you need a Google Cloud Platform project, and then you talk to Google Cloud account team to get a trial license. With that, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And stay tuned with us. Live Q&A will be come back soon.
Great, welcome back. Thank you so much, Dambo, for that fantastic presentation, as always.
Thank you, Jay. Join me.
Yeah, so Anthos, people are super excited about it, right? And in fact, we've had a couple of questions on getting access to Anthos, right? So everybody's heard it's GA. How do we get access to Anthos?
Yeah, Anthos, a lot of people excited about it, right? It's the first offering in the market, happy to managing hybrid cloud and multi-cloud, and based on open source technology. Should your enterprise ready or you want to try Anthos, I think good way talk to account team, and we give our customer 3 months trial license. Of course, our technical team will be qualified your technical requirement, make sure you are the right one to try it. Then we can work together to build up a kind of technical engagement model. We help you to deploy your application, modernize your application on the Anthos platform, so you can experience the power of the platform can bring to your organizations.
Great, thank you. So yeah, so for the person that I responded to in the live Q&A, so some additional information here. So yes, contact the sales team, but once you do contact that sales team, they do have 90-day free trial licenses available.
Yep, 3 months.
Great. So does Anthos require an enterprise customer to purchase new hardware for GKE on-prem?
Yeah, I like this question. I think I didn't talk about too much at this point. I think good time to make it more clear for the people. So again, Anthos is 100% software stack. So it can run in your existing hardware as long as it's vSphere, 6.5, and we don't enforce customer to refresh their hardware. So enterprise customer, you can protect your existing investments. So you don't worry about, say, hey, you have to throw away all your existing stuff and to buy a new product. Yeah.
Okay, so fantastic. So you can use your existing hardware as long as you meet that vSphere requirement.
Yes.
Right. And for those of you who have different on-prem requirements or different on-prem software stack, again, it doesn't hurt to talk to your sales team and let us know what you're using today and let us know how you'd like to use Anthos in the future. Okay, so what exactly, and if you could repeat this again for us, so what exactly does Anthos require to run on-premise?
Yeah, I understand, the complexity in the enterprise world, customer could be using different hardware, different virtualization platform. And to start with, actually, we support vSphere 6.5. For the load balancer, local traffic management, we integrate with F5 big IP load balancer. Mm-hmm. We heard the customer, you probably expected more, like virtualization environment like KVM, Hyper-V. And I can tell you this is something is in the roadmap. We are working on this one. Of course, when I say roadmap, is based on the safe harbor statement. Yeah. And even for the load balancers, we also look at other popular mainstream options like Palo Alto and Cisco. Stay tuned with us, and you can expect more features, capability came from Anthos platform.
Great. So yeah, so if you're excited about it, I mean, we're also excited about it. So let us know. Let us know what you're using. Let us know how you want to be supported and how we can make Anthos more useful to you. So Anthos, do we have a marketplace for Anthos?
Yeah, so for the people familiar with GCP, we have the marketplace, but now we have a new category dedicated for Anthos application. So we call Kubernetes applications. So we provide roughly 30 now, third-party ASV solution, OSS stack, which allow you to deploy application in a single pane of glass, whether your application can run on your environment in cloud. So that's really provide a single control panels for the enterprise.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much, Danbo. Please keep those questions coming. I'll be back in just a moment. Thank you so much for attending our digital conference, and I'll see you in just a minute. Great. Thank you so much again for attending our conference today, a global digital conference, and we're coming to you live from Singapore. So far, 4 live sessions that we've had for you today. So the first session in each track really talking about that migration story, one on why you should be moving to the cloud and the benefits that it offers. And then the second session more focused on the how. So how do we migrate and what approach can we use for migrating those applications into the cloud. The second session in each track really focused on newer technologies such as containerization. And while Google has been doing containerization since 2003, really with the advent of Kubernetes and the automation behind Kubernetes, it's allowed us to make it easier for organizations to embrace containerization as well. So our developer track just ended, so welcome back to our developers. And a lot of you are super excited about Kubernetes, but also super excited about Anthos. So as Dambo mentioned in one of the tracks, Anthos is available. It is generally available today. So if you're interested in using Anthos for your organization, so having that single control plane for your Kubernetes implementations and taking the power of Google Kubernetes engine and bringing that on-premise, we have that available today. And if you contact your sales representative or your account manager, you can get a 90-day free trial to Anthos so you can understand how it might benefit you, how your IT teams might use that, and how you might develop more portable and more scalable applications on-prem. Now, if you remember from the first part of the day, whenever we were talking about how there are multiple ways for you to get to the cloud. One is simply moving virtual machines and moving those virtual machines to the cloud, but that other path is about modernizing on-premise. And Anthos allows you to do that. You can have those applications running on-premise on your hardware using our software stack and allowing you to modernize on-prem before you move that to the cloud. Or perhaps those are applications you plan on running on-premise for an extended period of time. We certainly support you in doing that. And obviously, large enterprise applications can be very complex, and their enterprise architectures can be very complex, and it might take you some time to sort of untie that and really move to a cloud-first organization. So what we're trying to do is trying to make it easy for you to get to the cloud your way. If you have found this useful, please forward that link to other people that you might be working with or friends that you know that are interested in migrating their applications to the cloud or learning more about Kubernetes and Anthos, or interested in learning about how you can move your SAP workload to the cloud. So our next sessions in each one of those tracks are going to talk about moving SAP workloads into the cloud, what the benefits are of that, and how you might do that. In our IT Decision Makers track, Prabodh is going to talk to you about that, so how you might move those SAP workloads to the cloud, what the benefits are of doing that, and how easy it has become over the past few years to move those large SAP workloads into the cloud. In the developers track, we're actually going to be replaying a session from an SAP dev advocate out of the US who is going to talk in depth technically about how SAP can be run in the cloud. And don't forget, we have live experts waiting to answer your questions, to talk about or to answer your questions in depth about how you can run these SAP workloads on the cloud as well. I know that I've been jumping in as much as I can to answer those questions as well, and I'll be heading out to answer questions. So please ask questions and let us know how we can help. And please give us feedback. So with that, please choose your track, choose your session, and thank you very much for joining us today.